Greetings, adventurer, and welcome to the Elder Scrolls Library. My name is Aurelius, your lore master, and today we are reading and discussing the Wild Elves. The book The Wild Elves appears in 3 of the Elder Scrolls games, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. The book discusses the Wild Elves of Tamriel, the scarcity of their sightings, and perhaps a glimpse into their culture. Let's get into the Wild Elves. On Wild Elves by Kirjo Korvac. In the wilds of most every province of Tamriel, descended philosophically if not directly from the original inhabitants of the land, are the Ayleids, commonly called Wild Elves. While 3 races of elven stock, the Altmer or High Elves, the Bosmer or Wood Elves, and the Dunmer or Dark Elves, have assimilated well into the new cultures of Tamriel, the Ayleids and their brethren have remained aloof towards our civilization, preferring to practice the old ways far from the eyes of the world. The Wild Elves speak a variation of Old Cyrodiilic, opting to shun Tamrielic and separating themselves from the mainstream of Tamriel even further than the least urbanized of their elven cousins. In temperament, they are dark-spirited and taciturn, though this is from the point of view of outsiders, or Polani in their tongue, and doubtless they act differently within their own tribes. Indeed, one of the finest sages of the University of Gwylem was a civilized Ayleid elf, Tirhain Foray, who lived from 1E 2790 to 2E 227, whose published works on wild elves suggest a lively, vibrant culture. Foray is one of the very few Ayleids to speak freely on his people and religion, and he himself said, "The nature of the Ayleid tribes is multi-hued, their personalities often wildly different from their neighboring tribes." Quoted from Foray, T, Nature of Ayleidic Poesy, page 8, University of Gwylem Press, 2E12. Like any alien culture, Wild Elves are often feared by the simple people of Tamriel. The Ayleids continue to be one of the greatest enigmas of the continent of Tamriel. They seldom appear in the pages of written history in any role, and then only as a strange sight a chronicler stumbles upon before they vanish into the wood. When probable fiction is filtered from common legend, we are left with almost nothing. The mysterious ways of the Ayleids have remained shrouded since before the First Era, and may well remain so for thousands of years to come. Alright, as is the case with most of these books, we know nothing about the author, so he does very little in helping us to date the book. The only thing that we know for sure is that it was written sometime after 2E 227. Because that's when Foray died. In the first part of the book, we learn that while the Altmer, the Bosmer, and the Dunmer have all been able to find a place in Tamrielic society, the Ayleids have been unable to do so. Unable, or perhaps unwilling. They have become known as the Wild Elves, due to the fact that they prefer to live secluded from the rest of the races in the wild. Now called dark-spirited and taciturn, the latter meaning reserved or uncommunicative in speech. It is acknowledged that while they appear cold towards outsiders, they themselves have a lively and vibrant culture, citing a book that was written by one of the founding members of the University of Gwylem, Tirhain Foray, who was himself an Ayleid. Due to the Ayleids' seclusion and apparent drop in population over time, they have become more feared as time progresses. So much so that at the time of the writing of this book, sightings of Ayleids are an exceptionally rare thing. The main theme, if you will, of the book seems to be the nearing extinction of the Ayleids as a race of elves. And this took place over thousands of years. The Alessian Rebellion ended in 1E 243, the First Era lasted until the year 2920, and this book was written no earlier than 2E 227. So there was a minimum of 2,900 years of history between the establishing of the Alessian dynasty and the near extinction of the Ayleids. The book never tries to examine why this might be happening, just that it is. The Ayleids lost a brutal war where thousands and thousands of elves were slaughtered. This probably had something to do with their decline, not wanting to assimilate into the new society, as well as spurts of violence over thousands of years would eventually lead to the Ayleids being all but forgotten. By some accounts, no Ayleids have been seen since the Second Era. Thank you so much for sticking around and listening. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell me what you think about this book in the comments below. And may the blessings of the 8 Divines be upon you.